All right. So, our next review is a movie that I have seen and Hunter has not. It is the movie Dream Scenario. Now, this is an A24 movie here. It is starring Nicolas Cage. It's directed by Christopher Borligi. Here, you have a concept of you have this regular, normal guy, and Nicolas Cage, Paul Matthews. He's a teacher. He's a professor at a college, and all of a sudden there starts this phenomenon that starts to happen where people experience dreams in which he is in them, where he just randomly pops up in their dreams, and then all these people are talking about like, yeah, I had this weird dream last night and you were there, and I don't know why, but you were just there. And he asked, well, what was I doing in the dream? And he just says, you just popped up, you just walked past and you were just there. And people describes their dream and what's happening, and usually he's just a person that's just kind of standing by and just pops up there. And because of that, he kind of becomes this huge celebrity, across the world. They're almost like a meme, almost. That people kind of, seeing him in their dreams becomes kind of pseudo famous here from it. But then, of course, as always with fame, things start to take kind of a dark turn there, as you see there. And then, he has a family here. His wife is played by Julian Nicholson, and you see that he's also a person who wants to be wants to have his book published and thinks that this is having this fame could be a good segue into having a book published to his. And you see, like, with this movie is kind of perfect for a guy like Nicolas Cage, being his all the weird shit that he's ever done in his whole career, all the movies, just him personally. And you see that this guy Paul Matthews, who they describe as a lot of other characters in the movie, is just kind of like he's just an average boring guy. Like, why are you dreaming about this guy? Just your average kind of lame dad. And that kind of, I mean, he adds a lot of good personality to the role and character of it. And you start to see, with the movie, he starts to really like this fame. But like I said, it starts to take a dark turn when people all of a sudden these dreams turn into nightmares. All of a sudden, these people they go like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like he's people are having dreams where he's strangling people to death, or he's
Oh
knocking
shit.
people in the head with hammers, he's killing them. And then so all the kids that go to his class, all of a sudden they kind of go like, well, we're afraid to go to class now because we're having all these nightmares about this dude and about him
Okay.
killing us in you know what I mean, in our dreams. So you start to see like where that kind of all that kind of leads down to. Um, so, kind of a, you know, seeing the trailer for this movie, when I saw it when I was watching, going to see a movie and seeing the trailer for before another movie, kind of interested me. The whole concept of like the dream aspect, and like this random guy just pops up in a dream, and like what could you do with this kind of concept there. What they kind of get into with the fame aspect of it, like he even starts to have like dream groupies, even where people like, what I mean, like I said, he starts to kind of like women who envision him like having sex with him, like having intense sex dreams. So he starts to have like dream groupies and everything. So there's that element that comes in there. People start to harass him, stalk him. People start to take what he does in the dreams, like he's doing it in real life. As I mentioned, like he's killing these people. So they, what I mean, fear him, and they says like, he gets banned from certain things, restaurants, and all this. They want him to leave, and so
Damn.
it creates a huge problem there. Um, just as far
You've
as
never
like,
you've never had a partner do that? Like get mad at you for something you did in the dream?
yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, I mean, sometimes your girl will get mad at you or she'll have a dream about you cheating in the dream, and then she'll wake up and slap the shit out of you for cheating in the
Yeah.
dream. Yeah,
Yeah. I had an ex do that shit. I was like, I'm sorry. Like
you know what I mean. Like, I don't know what you want me
yeah.
to do about it. So it's kind of like the same situation here with Julianne Nicholson, who she's kind of at first kind of like jealous a little bit, of like all these people, because certain people don't have the dreams about him. Like his wife doesn't have these dreams. Like his one of his friends in the movie, who's the dean of the school, Tim Meadows, and he doesn't have any
Love
dreams.
Tim Meadows. Love
Yeah.
that dude.
As Radiant Futurity said, classic projection. So I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know the deep psychology of dreams or anything like that. People who goes into that, but yeah. So that's kind of interesting there. That you see how it's kind of having this critique on society as far as fame goes, as far as celebrity goes, and then they take this concept of like the fact that he's able to pop up in the dreams. You have to see the movie to see where it goes, where they kind of push it even further, where they kind of
Yeah.
take it. Um, but it's like this movie with a concept like this, because this is a short movie, it's not that really long. It's only an hour and 40 minutes. So if you're in for like a really quick, weird type of ride here with this kind of concept of a guy who can enter people's dreams, and this is a good a lot of humorous moments here that work really well. That are pretty funny here. Like I said, this guy is just, has all like a normal average guy has all this kind of thrusted upon him, which is most case in a lot of situations with kind of Nicolas Cage movies there. Like the weatherman, for example, there, like he was the most hated guy in that town because he was the weatherman, and then everybody used to throw shit at him, milkshakes
Yeah.
and food and all that other stuff. So I think
Really
that
shitty, by the way, people. Like throwing a milkshake at someone like beer sucks, but a milkshake that sticks with you, you know?
y
Like
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, because it's gonna stick on your clothes and all that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I very much enjoyed that, with this movie. It's just like besides that, I don't think it just doesn't have a lot to go there. I don't think, you know what I mean,
Okay.
with it. And maybe if they got into some other things pretty early on, because like I said, where it kind of gets into some other stuff later on at the end of the movie, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Maybe they could incorporate that into more into the movie, and it maybe made it a little bit longer there to really expand upon it a little bit more. But other than that, I still think this is a strong movie. And I had some fun with it. I, laughed and chuckled at a couple points in it. I think again, Nicolas Cage is always fun to see and stuff, even when he's in something bad. And this isn't
Yeah.
bad, but he always kind of really makes the movie memorable with a lot of his performances in there. So yeah, I would say I would give this a tune in for me for
Okay.
Dream Scenario. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to someone who's literally subscribed to A24's fan club. Like I fucking love A24. So I mean, I'll see it regardless. Um, but did you see Pig that Nicolas Cage did? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Did Okay? Is it better than Pig?
No,
Because I
I don't.
love Pig. Okay,
I
because I
don't think it's
love
better.
Pig.
I
Okay,
don't think it's
okay,
better.
okay. That just helps to set my expectations a little bit because Pig was like my number 9, I think, that year. So okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Oh, Random Maturity says, "I'm curious to see where this will rank because I've seen all other 110 movies he's ever done." Yeah, he's got to. I mean, you could probably teach a class on that, Random Maturity. In college, yeah, in class of
That's
Nicolas Cage.
that's one of my favorite community bits is when Abed's brain just breaks because like is Nicolas Cage bad or is he like brilliant? Like I love that bit so much. And like I just watched for my Halloween, my 31 days of Hollywood Halloween reviews, I reviewed that movie he did with Joel Kinnaman, Sympathy for the Devil. It's not a great movie, but like there's a fun back and forth between Kinnaman and Cage, and he's very much playing that unhinged, like kind of what I wanted more to see from like Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Like you kind of get more of that Nicolas Cage, where he's just kind of like a force of nature. And I don't know, man. I think Nicolas Cage, like I know he's very much like a meme now, and Andy Samberg does a great impression of him, but Nicolas Cage is a fuck of an actor. And if you go back and watch, like he's great in City of Angels for fuck's sake. Like, and him and Meg Ryan together on a screen just doesn't really make a lot of sense, and yet he makes it make sense. Like Nicolas Cage is pretty fucking awesome. Like,
I mean, you gotta think, yeah. I mean, because you have with these students, like I said, who go kind of refuse to go to class there, and then you kind of gets into, you know what I mean, like this the trauma in your dreams, reflect something. Is that kind of real? Is it not real? How does that impact you in your daily life there? Yeah, because they start to they really start to take it out on this guy. And you really feel bad for him there. But yeah, I mean, Nicolas Cage, I mean, he's a great actor, an amazing actor. And it's always good to see him do kind of a lot of these weird projects and kind of just do a lot of these different things. I think that helps him, you know.
how's Michael Sarah in this?
Michael Cera shows up. He's in this movie. He's like his agent in it because he goes to like a publishing company. Like say he wants to have a book published.
Oh, okay.
So he wants to have a book published there. So he's like this agent, this agency that he goes to for that. And then they're trying to they don't really give a fuck about his book, but they're just trying to go like, okay, but we really care about you being famous and being this big
Yeah.
thing. And they try to pitch different things to him about like, well, what if you did this collaboration with Sprite, and then you can show up in people's dream holding a Sprite can and do that, try to get in people so people can associate you with that.
God damn, and that's so how people would do it too. It's like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this then. That sounds like fun, like a fun time at worst.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my review for Dream Scenario. Gave it a tune in.